Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies, and today we are reviewing episode 1 of season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. And it was pretty good. It was jam-packed, full of fighting, and it reminded me a lot of things that have been going on here with the what do they call it? Their police force, but it's kind of like ICE, but it's called something else. And it's police people who are out of control, and he hires them to be his kingpin hires them to be his personal police squad to go after people he doesn't like. Sounds familiar? Like people who wear costumes and fight crime.
Is this like your opening monologue, Safi?
Okay, well that's it. I don't know what else to say.
Is that your review?
And also, I was really, they did show a little bit of a trailer of things that happened last season, so you could kind of catch up a little bit.
Yeah, it was 2.5 minutes long. I just skipped through the whole thing because, I don't need any of that.
Well,
so,
I appreciated it.
Okay, so anyways, we didn't know if we were going to do this video today because last night I got food poisoning. It was pretty bizarre because a couple of days ago I got a $2 orange iced cinnamon roll because I thought, I've never seen that before, orange cinnamon roll. And I thought it would be fun to try, and, it's only $2, which I thought was interesting. I would never get it again, but I just wanted to try it. And when I was trying it, I should have taken a step back because it had an off taste. It had a chemically taste, but I ate the whole thing, and I ate it with ice cream, and I think that the ice cream helped. And I thought maybe, because I've never had an orange cinnamon roll before, so I thought maybe that's just how they taste.
Was it just the icing that was orange, or was there orange flavoring in the cinnamon roll itself?
It's just the icing that's orange. So it's a regular cinnamon roll with orange icing on top instead of the regular. And it's flavored orange, too. And so I woke up in the middle of the night, horribly ill. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but I lost some sleep, and the whole day was thrown off because of that. And so when I came to watch this show, though, I wasn't really expecting much because with last season, to sort of recap, to be honest, the first season of Daredevil Born Again, because really, I guess it's supposed to be season 4 of like Daredevil as a whole, to be honest, that season has not aged well. I would never go back and rewatch it, to be quite honest. I would go back and rewatch the old show on Netflix, definitely. But the last season, it just it was too just disjointed, and it was too all over the place. There were a lot of stupid things about it, and ultimately, it was just kind of forgettable, and, there was a lot of filler and a lot of just stupid stuff that it really wasn't great, and, but this season 2, it is a brand new, this really is the Born Again season, because this whole season was made by, the same people. They didn't have any change in creatives where they took over, and then, because that's what they did last season, they had an original show, it was terrible, no one liked it, and so they had to bring in completely new people to rework it and reshoot stuff, and so it was so sloppy and so choppy, and so that was what I was looking forward to, though, about this season, even though I didn't have high expectations. And I agree with Safi. I thought that the first episode of season 2, it was a fun episode, and it was a good start to the season. and they did a good job at sort of showing where all the different characters are at and setting some things up. I think my only complaint so far, and this is pretty much right off the bat, is that right off the bat, Daredevil has a new suit. It's a black suit, and he's already on the ship, and he's, beating people up, and he's doing the Daredevil thing, and then these two people on top of the ship, they sink the ship on purpose because they're ordered to by Kingpin. But the thing I didn't like was that I didn't like that there was no build up to the black suit. I thought that there would have been like a build up to him, switching into the black suit and deciding like, okay, I'm gonna have to wear this one now. But he already has it right off the bat, so. But that's the whole opening scene, and so Daredevil, he survives the sinking ship, and then the ship crashes, and it's in this
kind of upwards and up on the side of the river.
It's a total disaster, and it's blocking any ships from coming in.
Which they need for their goods and services that come into the port.
So that's the setup for the whole season. Is this? Well, at least for now, is like Kingpin's. It's a gun running ship, and it is now blocking everything from happening. So, and he wants to cover it up too. So that's the main plot of this episode, and of course it's called the Northern Star,
which is the name of the ship.
It's the name of the ship. And basically, he wants to cover up that he's running guns. And so he wants to... Or where should we start, Safi? There's so much crap to talk about.
Well, that opens up, and the thing is, it isn't just a necessity for him to move it for his personal gain. It's like Marco said, it's disrupting regular services in the entire city for other things that they need that have nothing to do with illegal military munitions. The whole boat is full of it, and I guess what I did not understand, and maybe usually on some of these things I kind of like to rewatch certain parts to clarify things.
Yeah.
But the guy who plays, I just remember his name, on Scream, one of the killers, he is...
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, he is, is he, I thought I heard him say is with the CIA, but he is working for this private, he's probably...
I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll just mention really quickly, he's Matthew Lillard, which I'm calling him that because that's how Quentin Tarantino pronounced his name, and I thought it's a funny way of pronouncing it. I do like Matthew Lillard quite a bit, but he is a brand new side character this season, and he's pretty mysterious. He goes into Kingpin's office, and he takes a hero in there, and he's eating on his couch, and he's just like being totally disruptive. And, normally Kingpin would have to kill someone like that, he wouldn't tolerate this kind of, he's so controlling and everything, and he just wouldn't tolerate it. And then later on, he comes over for dinner, and and Kingpin is like, "You disrespected me," and he doesn't even seem to care. So there really is like a big mystery about, who this guy is, and like, is he like how is he going to be involved the rest of the season? Because
I don't know about that.
Right off the bat, he's talking about how there needs to be like a crew of people to clean up the gun running stuff, the evidence, and then they all need to be killed. And Kingpin is actually, surprisingly, he is reluctant to kill the crew of whoever cleans up.
Because he said there's not enough trustworthy people around, and
yeah,
and that would be a problem for him, because it would be hard to replace them. And then the guy, I think the guy is like I can't think of the name, but where you spy for both sides,
Okay.
and he's helping. Right now, he's helping the bad guy,
Okay.
whoever or whatever country wants these weapons, country or countries, and but he says, like Marco says, he offers his own, like his own group, and then of course he would kill him at the end. And actually, Kingpin wouldn't have anything to do with it, any of it, moving the weapons, or the people who are cleaning it up have anything to do with them, telling them what to do, killing them, anything. He would have nothing to do with it.
And doesn't, because, these reviews aren't all about, like, telling you what happened in the episode, because that's not really what a review is, but
then it starts off like that, and then it starts to build around it on the fringes, and...
Well, but I wanted to, I can't remember if, did he agree to Matthew Lillard? Okay.
Yes, he did.
Because that's what I thought, so he agrees to that, and so now, we'll have that, and maybe what'll happen is that Daredevil will save the cleanup crew or something from getting killed, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
But, a lot of stuff is going to happen. There's a lot of characters, too. I mean, it's a lot to talk about, so we apologize if our review is a little disjointed, because there's just a lot of stuff. Because, for instance, they have brought back the quote-unquote real people of New York, the kind of interviews that they did in last season, where people would pretend to, be interviewed and say, like, what they think about what's going on. And it's really interesting, sort of a social commentary, because there's people who they're saying that everything is great now in New York because Fisk has done what he's done, and people are also because Fisk has painted the whole situation as a terrorist attack by Daredevil.
That's exactly what's been going on here.
And so
exactly weird.
So the people say that, like, oh, the vigilantes are the terrorists, and I hope that Fisk does whatever he can do to stop them. And
but then you would look, they would show a video of what would be behind the person talking, and it would be, behind them would be a picture of Fisk, and it would be graffiti on it that said he was like a despicable person, but in different words.
And they also had, like, another type of show where it was a guy who was wearing a Fisk costume, and he was like doing his own, like, online news show that was like the truth-telling show. So I thought all of that stuff was really, really good, and I really like that because it feels like it adds to the real-world feeling of the show, and making it feel like it's an actual city with, people, because a lot of these superhero movies and shows, the big problem, one of the big problems is that it doesn't really feel like they're real cities with real, like, citizens. Like, you don't even get, like, a lot of interaction between the heroes and the citizens. It's just the hero and their stupid team, because they always have to have a team, in order to defeat the bad guy, and then, the bad guy has his little team. You never really get that interaction anymore like you used to in, like, the original Spider-Man movies, where, like, let's just say the second one, where he had to run into the burning building multiple times, and, like, that was really, really good. But, like, I'm really glad, though, that they brought that element back. What do you think, Safi?
Well, the thing is, those superhero movies that you're talking about, it seems like they'll have one scene, there'll be a lot of people running and screaming, but you never have, like, the everyday activities, and they show different places and different people, and so it's more of a community, albeit a large community, a city feeling. You get more of a feeling of that by what they show. It's different. It's better because it really is more realistic anyway of what the story, because it all adds to the story. So
I also think that you couldn't really do this for other superheroes. I think that what they're doing, it works exclusively for Daredevil. Like, if they did this in a Spider-Man movie, like, if they paused the movie to show, like, a fake interview of, like, a New Yorker saying, like, Spider-Man is doing some weird stuff, that wouldn't really work. But it's Daredevil. Like, I think in other movies and things, they'd have to write other types of scenes, is what I'm saying. But, like, these interview styles, these news videos and things, that's exclusive, I think, to Daredevil. I think that works exclusively to Daredevil.
I don't think I've seen that in anything else.
Yeah. And so, where do we... Because
Karen is back.
Yes, and she is also...
They're together.
They're finally together, after the whole, what do you call it last season with the, Heather, who I actually think...
She was in it, too, in the episode.
Yeah, that's... she's obviously in the show. She was in season 1. She's actually, like, one of my favorite characters that they made up, but I just didn't like how they forced him and her together. But now, thankfully, they have forced Matt and Karen together already. And, they're great together. And I'm really glad that they're together because from what I remember in season 2, they're together for like 2 seconds and then they're forced to break up. And it's like, why can't they just be together? It's like, just keep them together. Maybe she dies in, like, a future season, but, like, keep them together. I don't care. Like, I guess if Elektra comes back, that'll be a conflict, but,
Who comes back?
Elektra.
Oh.
But I really like that. I really like that they're in a relationship now.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It almost seems like from this last season to this season, their lives went on. In other words, sometimes when you go from season to season, it picks up new, and they start everything from scratch again.
Yeah.
But they're already together. They're working together. They're lovers. They're working in a common goal. In addition to having a relationship, and that is to upend Kingpin.
And they're in hiding because there is a search for them. And, but I agree with that. And that's what I was saying about how this was a very well done, like, first episode because it didn't feel... it felt like things already continued on from last season and all they're doing is catching you up on what's happening and then setting up a really good story. And they did a really good job with that. A really good job with, like, the exposition and the characters. And so then... I guess we could get to... Because there's, like, a checklist. There's, like, a long checklist.
We could talk about just the characters and what's going on with them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, a checklist of characters. So, another thing that's going on is... Where do we even start?
How about the psychiatrist?
Okay, Heather, she is conducting these interviews of all the different prisoners, these secret prisoners, and she's not really even, like, it's really strange, like, the way that she's behaving, and I don't really know, because...
She's not very well defined, I think.
Yeah, she's not a really well told character in last season, but I really liked her, and I thought, like, she was a great addition, but, like...
I think it's not as good as last season right now.
She needs more depth, because to me, the interpretation that I'm getting is that she has become a supervillain because Matt didn't like her. She has become a supervillain because Matt has rejected her, and she is basically like what do you call it? Like a woman scorned. That's basically, to me, what she's acting like, because she's interviewing Lalo from Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And she's writing all these things down that just don't make any sense at all. Like, there's this part, like, I can't really remember the specifics, but, like, there's the things that she writes down, they feel like such extreme, and like, she writes down delusional, but I thought that everything she was writing down was delusional.
Well, they tell her that she needs to, especially on one, maybe it's the Lalo guy. It's not, his name isn't Lalo, okay, but I don't know if that, the
swordsman? I can't remember.
They're
the huntsman, the swordsman.
Telling her to fix, quote, fix his answers. So, like, let's say...
No, but that's after. During the interview, she's writing down these notes about him, and they don't make any sense at all. It's just the most bizarre... It's like a supervillain. It's like a cartoon. It's like, you know, when the interview is so biased, it's like, oh, well, they said they don't like pepperoni pizza, so that means they don't like pizza. Like, that's what it was like. And so I was wondering, like, how did Heather go from such just like a normal, balanced character, kind of a bitch, for sure, but how did she go from that to being this cartoon character in this season?
Well, she did have the incident with that one patient of hers who was actually a killer, and he used to be on that show, and he was killed off.
The Muse.
Yeah, the Muse. That was his name, but her interaction with him, I think it messed her up mentally.
And
she has PTSD or something about that.
He's haunting her. Which, there is a comic, actually, where the Muse comes back from the dead, and he comes back, I think, as like a hallucination or a demon, and so that could be building up to a future story where he fully comes back
because they show
to get her. Because, she keeps on seeing him, and that's the part that I liked. I like the fact that they're continuing things over. It feels like things are actually threaded together, and it's not just like random bullshit happening. It's like there's actual like world building and character building going on. But I just want to know, like, why is she like how she is now? Because then later on she is fixing answers, and she's changing answers to their benefit, to Fisk's benefit. And so
okay, next is the lawyer who was working with Matt in this God, I can't think.
Their law firm.
Well, it was a law firm, but it's one that works for like lots of pro bono work, which means you do cases and you don't get paid for it.
She's really overwhelmed. That's her story.
She has a case, and she's got all the proof and everything, but the I don't know if it's the district attorney, prosecuting attorney for the city, asked her to come work with him. He's working with Fisk, and he said, "You don't need to be here. Why don't you just come and work for me, and you'll get a lot more money." And she doesn't want to do it, but she is worried about Matt because he's hiding. She doesn't know how he's doing, and she knows he's been bought off, and he's working for Fisk, and she asked him why. She just is mystified as to why he's given himself to him.
Yeah.
And then she is she the same one? No, she's a different person. There's another woman who's looks a lot like her.
Really?
She's the one making the videos. This beautiful city, that program they're trying to promote, that everything is perfect and going great, and making these videos, and then they make fun of them, the surreptitious, behind the scenes, sneaky people.
See, what I think that you don't understand. What you don't understand, Safi, is that Mayor Fisk is making New York great again.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is almost like a weird parallel universe as to what we're experiencing right now, and but only in a cartoonish way. Too bad it wasn't cartoonish where we are.
Well, I wanted to say that the whole plot with the law firm, it connects to the fact that there's going to be these vigilante trials coming up. That, you know, I guess are kind of like witch trials, and so that's why these interviews are being conducted by Heather, and she's fixing the answers. It's because these trials are coming up, and that leads Matt and Karen to talk about how, like, do you miss being a lawyer? Do you miss being Matt Murdock? And that's the interesting thing, is that last season he was Matt Murdock for most of the season, and in this season he's going to be Daredevil for the whole season. And so I think as the audience, we're going to miss the lawyer stuff, kind of. Because to me...
But I think he'll go back to it, though. That's
he will. He will, and there needs to be a balance.
He has to. There's just, it's so bad, just paralleling what we're going through, that I don't think he can't afford to go back to it right now. In fact, his life would be at risk. His life is already at risk.
Yeah.
Starting off from the episode.
Yeah.
They're hiding. He and Karen are hiding. And they showed Fisk putting out some kind of like wanted posters for the both of them. So, and they may have even, didn't they show Daredevil in a newscast when he was on that boat or ship and he was trying to destroy it, but of course they were saying...
That wasn't a newscast, that was surveillance footage.
Oh, okay.
Surveillance footage where there's a great shot where he's taking down the surveillance cameras and Fisk watches that later on his laptop and gets really mad. He's like, you know, and
there's the minor characters.
No, there's more now.
But there's
more characters. There's so many.
But okay, well I know there's a big one from the guy, I don't know what his name is, but he's now the associate or assistant or whatever mayor.
Deputy mayor,
I guess.
Yeah, Tony Soprano's son, who's playing him.
Oh. Huh.
And he now has an apartment, all thanks to Fisk, which leads to something else.
It's like a high-rise apartment where you can see the city.
Yeah.
And that kind of apartment would be so expensive.
Yeah.
And who was it? The girl makes make New York beautiful again or whatever. She says, "How can you afford this?" And he's out there. He's having a party, and you can see these gigantic picture windows with views of the city. And he said, "Well, he owns it, so he let me have it at a discount." But he's like, you know, they show them...
It shows something that Safi doesn't understand, is that this season so far is showing that Fisk is all about helping his friends and giving favors to his friends.
Gee, that sounds familiar too. So I say it's like a parallel universe.
It's very honorable. You know, there's no other politician in history who's done that kind of thing.
No, not at all. So anyway, he was in prominently in the last season. He's back. And also the British guy, who's very like...
What we would call him is he's the new Wesley. Because, you know, Wesley was the old... I can't remember. I can't remember. He might have been British.
Yeah,
but
he is British.
The old one. In the old show that got killed. Well, you should remember, because it's Daredevil. Of course, guys, if you don't know, Safi never finished Daredevil. She still hasn't. She stopped watching in season 2, and she said fuck you to Daredevil, and now she came back, and she's born again.
Oh God.
And anyways, where were we at?
We're just talking about the different characters. So
See,
we
we're
talked about the
really
lawyer
we're
who used to work with Matt.
We're really strung out
We
today.
talked about the girl who makes. She kind of looks like that lawyer, but she makes is like make New York beautiful again, or
Well, I want to talk about BB now.
Mayor.
I want to talk about BB now because she is Karen's source, and she is getting information through the deputy mayor. And this is one of the things I didn't like about the episode. One of the few things that I didn't like. And you guys remember, I criticized this last season. I think that she and the deputy mayor guy, they actually make a pretty decent couple. They have good chemistry. And but they explain it in dialogue that like she doesn't really like him and she's just using him for information. And Karen is warning her because, I think it was her uncle, Ulrich, he got killed by Fisk for, doing something similar, for doing the right thing and, doing what was good. I don't know. I can't remember, but he did get killed by Kingpin, and so now she's warning her because if the deputy mayor finds out, he might have to kill her. And that might be an interesting part because, to be honest, again, it's really too bad because they had great chemistry. They have great chemistry. They would make a good couple, but for some reason the showrunners won't let it happen. They're kind of just a bunch of party poopers. So, what do you think, Safi?
Well, I don't know about that. He still. She's the one who's at the party, though. I think she's the one doing the sorry. Yeah, well, I can't help myself because it's such a parallel, but make New York great again or whatever. And I don't know. He's such a. It's just like what's today.
But
He's a very weaselly character.
But that would make the story a lot more interesting. Instead of it being just a repeat of something you could see 1,000 times in every other show, where like, oh, she's just, cozying up to him for information, it would be so much more interesting for like someone who's basically like Fisk Jr. to be falling in love with, her. Someone who is totally anti-Fisk, who's related to, Ulrich, who was killed by Fisk. That would be so much more interesting to me.
I don't know.
Why?
It could be.
Why don't you know?
I just don't know.
That's like a... How do you not know?
It's interesting. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It would be. It's not interesting now with the story of like, oh, she's just using him for information. Like, you could see that like anywhere in any show.
Which I don't know if she ever really liked him that much anyway.
I don't know.
No matter what. Before anything where she was trying to find out information from him, I don't know if she really did like him.
Well, the show was telling you what she felt, but like to me, I thought they worked well, and but whatever. But that was like a big thing I didn't like. But that's like a minor thing. Because there's so much other crap. So what's next?
Oh, I know because this is something that Marco has commented on for other shows about men not hitting women. The ship captain and the associate captain who scuttled the boat, which means they ran it aground up against the shore. They flooded it. That's scuttling. That's called scuttling.
How do you know?
Because I've heard about this before.
Is that a word that you learned by doing crossword puzzles?
No. I don't do that many crossword puzzles. No, it's from reading. But anyway, it's no big deal. They are Greek, and they are running for their lives because Fisk wants to kill them.
Yeah.
And they were doing what they were told to do. But
Yeah, they did what they were supposed to do, but they're still supposed to be killed.
So, one place they go is hang out, I guess, is this place where a lot of these other Greek people go. And,
yeah.
So, ICE, I'll just call them ICE, because I don't know what they are, but they're just like them. They don't wear masks. I guess that's the thing. Makes them different. But anyway,
yeah.
They come in there and they're looking for them, and they go up to, and the bar owner is Greek, and it's a woman, and she says, "Well, I don't speak very good English." When when the guy shows her their pictures, and then he said, "Oh, if that's the way you want to do it," and he punches her lights out.
Yeah.
And Marco has said that they have not done that kind of thing on any show as of late. I don't know for how long, but he did do it, and they did do it in this.
No, I don't mean it like that, because that's a villain hitting a poor innocent woman. I'm talking about a hero fighting a villainous female character. Whenever that happens, they always have to bring in a female character to fight the female villain. They do that all the time. They did it in Nobody 2, cringeworthy, bad movie, mediocre movie. But whatever. But anyways, the lead ICE agent, which, by the way, I can't remember what movie it was, but I saw him in a movie last year, and he played I think he played like a similar character, or maybe a different one. I can't remember, but I did see him in a movie last year. I thought that was funny. But he catches one of the guys, and he interrogates him, and the guy doesn't give him any information, and then the British guy kills him.
Well, one thing they want to know is, where's the other guy? And so he thinks he knows where he is, which that is not necessarily true. They may have split up and gone their separate ways as a security, a means of security and safety. Because if they are together, that would be probably the worst thing they could do. So it makes sense that he doesn't know where he is.
But he's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead. They
One
killed
of them.
him. The British guy comes in, "Well, I know you like beating up on people. I think you must enjoy that. But you could have just offered him a cup of tea." And then he goes behind him and he shoots him in the head.
Well, he's not even looking. He can't even see. And so, but anyways, the whole point of this, though, is that Daredevil and Karen, they are scrambling to try to prove that ship was for gun running, and that Fisk was doing all that stuff. And so, while that's happening, Fisk is covering it up. And so then Daredevil goes to the Greek restaurant or bar, whatever it is, and he talks to the restaurant owner. Go ahead, Safi. I'm sick of explaining this fucking show. We've been explaining this for like 38 minutes.
She's a new character, and so she can't. She just says she knows who he is, and he has sunglasses on and a hoodie and all that, but she knows who Daredevil is, or she knows he's a lawyer, but she can't help him. She doesn't know. Well, she said one of them was supposed to be on a ship out of here.
Yeah.
And he's not. They have him, and so that was the guy who was just killed. As far as the other guy, he does show up in the episode. I can't even remember because I got interrupted.
I can't remember either because I watched it like hours ago, and I'm really tired.
He does show up, and for one of their to Daredevil or somebody else close to them, and is asking for help. Oh, well, maybe it's the woman, the bartender. He's asking for help.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who he talked to exactly, but he does show up. They don't show him anymore. So he's still undercover, or he's still hiding, but the other guy's been killed. So hopefully he can make it out. So,
probably not, though.
Yeah, the way things are.
And so I guess the next thing would be to talk about everyone's least favorite character from the show from last season, which would be Cherry. And he has a couple of scenes, and I guess they did a good job with him because, last season he was a terrible character. He spent the whole season being a jackass, and then at the end of that season, they were like, ooh, look, Cherry's going to help Daredevil. And after the whole season, he was criticizing Daredevil. And I don't know if Safi remembers that, but
yeah.
He has a scene with Matt, and he agrees to help Matt find these two guys. And then that leads to... I can't even remember whatever happened.
As a character, because they show him in this episode, I believe, having a heart attack.
Well, I don't know why. I don't know why you just talked about that. We're supposed to, explain what happens.
You can tell what happens, but I mean
that leads in one way or another to him getting raided by the ICE agents, and then Daredevil has to come and save him, and then that's when Daredevil starts having a convenient panic episode or something.
Is that what that was? I thought he got shot or something.
I don't know, but he has some kind of a panic episode, and he falls over, and then the ICE agents are going to kill Cherry, and Cherry is having like a heart attack, I think, as Safi said.
Well, he grabbed his arm, and so they always show that in any TV episode when somebody's having a heart attack. You always see them grabbing their arm. One of their arms.
And then all of a sudden, before they can kill... Well, actually, the ICE agents unmask Daredevil and see that it's Matt Murdock. He's alive. And all of a sudden, a mysterious person shoots them all, kills all the ICE agents, and then he throws a knife in there that says, like, you're welcome? Is that what it said?
I don't know. I didn't see
How do you not know? You watched the episode.
I know, but I didn't see it that
You literally
clearly.
just watched it.
I know that, but I didn't see it that clearly.
Why didn't you zoom in? I guess I have to pay more attention and not get up the previous night with food poisoning.
They had help. Of course, I don't know. It might be too late for the retired cop, but he at least is able to help Daredevil.
Yeah. And I will say, I think it would be kind of a disappointment if Cherry died this early into the season.
Well, they could save him, but they'd have to hurry up.
I think it would be a disappointment because, yes, everyone hated his character last season, including me. I mean, he was just a terrible character. But just because people hated him doesn't mean they need to kill him off right off the bat.
No, I know.
It would be cool, like, if they at least, like, tried to make his character a good character first, if they're going to kill him.
Of course, he'd have to go to a hospital. If he went to the hospital, he'd be like a sitting duck.
Well, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because overall, I liked the episode. I thought it was a good start to season 2. But overall, I still don't know if I'm confident on these people making the show at all. Because it feels like they know how to make a competent show. But is it really going to lead to anything that's great? Is my question. Because last season, they had full control over the finale. And the finale was abysmal. The finale was terrible. And it was just as bad as the rest of the season.
How many episodes are there supposed to be?
I guess 10. 8 to 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what do you think, Safi? Because I'm not too confident in them.
I don't know. I just don't know. That's interesting because I was thinking, well, are they going to make this whole season about that ship? And I can't.
No.
I don't see how that could be.
No, it's just the start though. It's the impetus to the season.
Yeah. I don't know. I just will have to see. I think, based on other things that we've watched, the intro episodes have never been that good. So this is like contrary to that.
Well,
in a good way.
In recent years, we should say.
In recent years,
right. Like, overall, usually the stereotype is that the introductory episode is really, really good. Like, the first episode is really, really good.
The thing is, the way they made it different, though, is that they're pretending or acting like life went on between the first season and the second season, and usually it's cut off and restarts from the beginning, from scratch in the second season. That's not how this is. It's like life went on. They're showing everything like that's been going on, and they're right in the middle of things.
Yeah.
Everything, everybody in it. And I thought that was interesting, and it made it. I think it made it better, actually. And
I don't know.
But we'll see. I can't predict what's going to happen. I guess they had a lot of fodder in real life to draw material from, because the parallels on some things were just, really close.
Well, so, I would give the episode a B. You know, what would you give it?
I'll give it an A- because okay. I'm thinking like Daredevil's so careful, but he got himself in a trap right away.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised by that. And I thought, are they going to capture him? And they want to kill him?
I don't know.
And they'll take his mask off, which they did.
I thought what was going to happen is the first episode would take place all on the boat, and maybe he would get captured and have to fight his way out of the boat or something.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. But I would like to say, too, this show is suffering from the modern writing syndrome where, to be honest, so far there is not really a plot structure. I mean, you can see the way that we spent 40 minutes just tediously going through all the little details, the things that happened, all these different characters.
Well, it's kind of like the soap opera style again.
Yeah, but
it really is.
Like Fallout Season 2.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, is that what I was saying is that a lot of modern movies and TV shows, one of the reasons why they're bad is because they don't have a beginning, middle, and end.
Well, we'll have to see what happens, because obviously.
But this season does not have a beginning.
No.
It did not start off with a beginning. It started off right in the middle of things.
It's a continuation.
There's no beginning. It's just the middle. That's bad. That's a red flag.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, I'm not gonna, write the season right. I'm not gonna write off the season right off the bat. But I don't know. I'm really, because another thing too that I don't think that Safi is thinking about is that the people who made this season, they were totally against most of the things that the other people did in last season. And so a lot of this episode feels like them asserting control of no, okay,
are they getting their erasers out and erasing all the...
Yeah. Well, Matt is with Karen. He has the black suit now. This is happening. That's happening. It is not like that other show. Matt is being Daredevil. He is not being a lawyer. None of that. We're not going to have any of that. It feels like the polar opposite of last season. And I will say, too, I think that last season started off better. Even though, again, I don't really like last season.
Oh, I don't know. That's when the guy gets killed.
Foggy?
Yeah.
But right? It started off with that really good fight between Daredevil and Bullseye, and you had that build up to Fisk becoming mayor, and that scene in the diner with Matt and Fisk talking together. I mean, that was really, really good, that first episode.
Well, I'm going to ask a dumb question.
First and second.
Did we see Bullseye in the last season? Did we actually see
Oh my
what he
God.
looked like? I don't remember.
Oh.
It sounds like we did.
Oh my
But I don't
God.
remember what he looks like at all.
Oh.
I'll have to look him up.
Oh. Oh.
So,
Safi.
well, I gave it an A minus, and I did that because of Bullseye, who Marco says is the savior of Matt, throwing that knife in there and killing all those ICE agents. He saved him, and I thought that was good because I was confused as to how Matt could get himself trapped so quickly.
Safi, I don't think I'm going to be able to recover from this, guys, because I can't believe... Okay, Safi, here. Do you recognize this person?
No.
Oh my God! I just showed her a picture of Bullseye and she doesn't even recognize him. Safi!
They didn't show him, though, in this episode.
Oh my God.
They only showed his knife.
Oh.
Right?
Oh. Safi. Okay, here. One more picture. Do you recognize this man?
No.
Oh my God!
Maybe if I saw him walking around or something.
Safi, he was literally in the last season. He's the one who killed Boggy.
Oh, that guy.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Well, they call him Dexter. They call him Dex
That's right.
in the show.
But he didn't really understand why he did it, or why he had to do it, or he wasn't all in on it. There was something weird about that. I remember.
Fisk's wife hired him to do it in exchange for getting let out. And it feels like there's going to be more story there. There's like a mystery.
And she's in the episode too. She's in on the interview with the double agent.
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
She asked a couple of questions of him. So, in fact, he was kind of misogynistic with her. He said, "Is this something that we need to talk to in front of the wife?" And she was actually running the show for a while. He doesn't have any awareness of that. But I mean, we're kind of building up his character. He's just totally cold-blooded, and anybody who wants to hire his own people and to do a job, and then he wants to kill them afterwards, he's not exactly warm-blooded. I mean, he has no soul. So, and he everything. He laughed and made a joke out of everything, and he wasn't shy about belittling anybody or anything.
They showed this in Breaking Bad too, if you remember, Safi, where they had to pay off all those guys in prison who worked for Gus.
Oh yeah.
And Walter was like, "Wait a second, like we got all this money and we have to give like over half of it to all these people." Like,
I remember that.
He was so mad about that, and then of course he got all them killed off, and like what was like 10 minute
I remember that.
hit job.
That was like The Godfather.
Yeah.
When they had that, when they did that, they killed all those people, and they showed all the separate killings.
It was pretty good. Not as good as Better Call Saul, though. At least the first 3 seasons, but it was pretty good. But anyways, the last thing that I would just say is that as soon as Safi mentioned Fallout, I had PTSD flashbacks because, usually when we review TV shows, it's not like a really laborsome, like, hour-long video where we're just, like, painstakingly talking about these million different things that happen and these million different characters. But that's what happened on Fallout. That's what happened for me last year when I reviewed Wednesday Season 2. And now it's going to happen with Daredevil Born Again. So we do apologize for this video because both of us are out of sorts today. Safi had she had a nightmare about a cat chasing her or something.
No,
and
I didn't.
I had food poisoning from the orange
cinnamon
cinnamon roll.
Didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah. So we're both... But overall, we can't wait to keep watching Daredevil. And tonight we have to watch Fear Factor, or at least
the last
Maybe.
episode.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it sometime.
They're going to do an after show with all the contestants, and you can ask them questions, and you can talk to Jaylene and ask her what she meant when she told Rob that she gave him mostly everything.
I don't want to know that, and I don't think that'd be appropriate.
Why? She's the one who volunteered
I don't
that.
care.
She's
I
the
don't
one
care.
who volunteered
I'm
that
not
on
falling
national
into
TV.
that. Not falling into that.
You could ask Dildo about his ear. You know, you could ask Dildo, "Hey Dildo, how are you doing?"
His name isn't that. It's Dito. Come on, Marco.
No, it's Dildo.
No, it's not. Okay, come on.
Yes, it is. I don't know what you're thinking. So, anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support our channel after this video, we do have a Patreon page, and the videos are a lot better on there than this video, I assure you. And because I have full hour-long spoiler movie reviews, bonus content, rankings, and my short film, and tons of more cool stuff to come. We currently have, I think, like 1 or 2 members. There's one paid member and one free member. And so we do very much appreciate anyone who signs up, because it really helps out the channel. So that's it.
Okay,
Goodbye.
everybody.